Watch what happens when Hulk Hogan, who is dying of thirst, needs a drink on the set of Impulsive where he is surrounded by bottles of Prime. Watch this.
When he says take it a little bit easier.
Vote. You got a cold beer, bro? I need something.
He asks for a cold beer instead of touching that poison that is Prime. Logan Bold, listen here, brother. I've been watching that dude Sewer King, brother. So I know that Prime was bioengineered in a lab in Wuhan, brother, to turn people gay, brother. Listen here, brother. When I woke up this morning, I did not make a decision to put on a sundress and start sucking dicks. So I'd rather drink battery acid, brother. Logan Bald, listen here, brother. I've been many things in my life, brother, but a power bottom is not one of them. So you keep that crap to yourself, brother. Listen here, brother. I've done many great things in my career, but the one I'm most proud of is maintaining a tight bungus. So no, I will not be drinking Prime today, brother. Listen here, Logan Bald. We are not the same, brother. I fought my way to the top, getting my skull cracked open when all you had to do was get your cheeks split open. Listen here, brother. You're very lucky Mean Gene Okerlund is not still alive today, brother. His favorite thing to do after WrestleMania was go down to the local gay bar, hide in the back alley with a rusty crowbar, and beat some homos into a coma. Brother. I mean, how did you think he got that nickname Mean Gene Okerlund? It's right in the name, dudes. And if you don't know who Mean Gene is, all right, either get your ass educated or get your ass out of the sewer. Because you ain't about the sewer life if you don't know about Mean Gene. Now listen, I'm going to go back and I'm going to break this clip down where he refused to drink Prime. And I'm going to break it down using the most advanced video technology available to mankind. But first, we must address the elephant in the room. And I'm not talking about my cack. I'm talking about how Hulk Hogan here is ripping my drip. You see the do-rag? You see the sunglasses on the top of his head? Hulk Hogan is ripping my dripping. Now you say, Sewer King. Hulk Hogan was doing this all throughout the 80s. Aren't you ripping him off? Listen, dumbass. Me and Hogan, we came up around the same time. We're in the same generation. He's only 3 or 4 years younger than me. We came up in the same amateur wrestling scene. All right? And if you go back and Google pictures of him wrestling in the 70s, he didn't have the do-rag. But he came across this guy. And he copied me and made it popular in WWF. But listen, I say this with all due respect to the Hulkster. All right? He's not my favorite wrestler. That would be Macho Man, followed by Ultimate Warrior, and then probably Hulkster in the number 3 spot. So I say this with all due respect, brother. Now, one thing that really stood out to me during this episode of Repulsive is just how different our generation, me and the Hulkster, is from these little gaylords. Now, they're not technically Zoomers. Mike here is in his mid-50s or so, and Logan Bald is around 30 or so. But they embody the Zoomer. And it's shocking the difference between these generations. But these idiots don't realize it. They think they're on the same level as the Hulkster. Listen to this.
Question.
Hey, what am I doing?
You got it. Yeah, he's like me.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan's like you. Hulk Hogan's like you, you cringe gaylord pussy. Hulk Hogan is the complete opposite of you. And I have the perfect example to demonstrate that. How the two of them dealt with hair loss. As you know, if you are a repeat viewer of this channel, every single one of my videos is about Logan Paul's hair loss and how he's dealt with it. And here's a primer for those of you new here. Logan Paul was balding from an early age. His dad is a complete cue ball. And to combat it, he developed this permed comb forward, okay? That now is known as the broccoli cut. I coined that term, okay? This big, ugly perm mess combed forward to cover up his baldness. Do you know how Hulk Hogan covered up his baldness? He didn't. Look at this. Look at his promos from his prime, from the peak of WWF. Look at this. You will not believe it. Look at this man. Look at this man. No insecurity. Just pure testosterone. And that's how his hair fell out. He's got a headband. You know, he could have put a bigger one on and covered the baldness. He's not stupid, but he just didn't care. He just owned it. Now, I'd love to play this clip, but the WWE is known for doing copyright strikes even for 5 or 10-second replays of their videos. But you can see it. Zoom in on that. Pause. Right there. Look at this severe baldness. And I want to make it very, very, very clear, you guys. I'm not making fun of him for being bald. There's really not much you can do about it. I mean, you can take drugs, hair transplant. Those options weren't really available here in the 80s. But it didn't even matter. He didn't care. He didn't care. He didn't always have his do-rag covering his head completely. Sometimes he went like this. When he had the do-rag covering his head completely, it was just a stylistic choice. It wasn't to cover up hair loss because he was like this just as much. He was rocking a skullet. He didn't care. He was so secure in himself. Look at this. Look at this man. Unbelievable. That is pure manhood right there. And I want to make it very clear because some of you idiots are like, oh, why do you make fun of Logan Paul for being bald? That's so mean. I'm not. Hell, I'm not even making fun of him for covering it up because I mean, some people are more insecure. What I blame him for is creating this pandemic of broccoli boys that I have to see when I leave my house. They're an assault on the senses. Logan Paul, you are nothing like this man. This is a man. This is a broccoli boy pussy. Now, let's forget about Logan Bald for a second and talk about this little bitch-ass soy boy. Listen to the question he dares to ask the Hulkster.
Hulk, you got a stylist?
Stylist?
Yeah.
Mongo Mike asks Hulk Hogan if he has a stylist. Hulk Hogan is not a soy boy bitch ass like you to have a stylist. Now, look at Hogan's reaction to this question. Because if you ask a man of our generation, do you have a stylist? You might as well be saying, hey, how many cacks have you had in your bungus? Stylist. Listen to how Hogan reacts to that soy boy questioning his manhood.
Who styles you?
Who styles you?
Stylist. What's wrong with you?
What do you mean stylist? What's wrong with you? Listen to that.
Styles you.
Stylist. What's wrong with you?
What do you mean stylist? What's wrong with you? What are you calling me gay, you little pussy? Oh my God. You guys that weren't around, you young guys, you just have no idea what the world was like before, what men were like before. And I'm so glad that I decided to come on YouTube so that you could see what men were like before the world went to hell. I'm basically a relic of the past. I'm like you discovered dinosaur bones in your backyard. And I think that deserves a like, I don't know. But back to this Mongo Mike idiot. So right off the bat, he's pissed off Hulk Hogan. So look what happens moments later when Hulk is about to sit down. Watch this.
This is you. Headphones are optional.
So Logan tells him the headphones are optional.
Oh, really?
I'll
Yeah.
recommend them. But I won't recommend anything to you, sir. You can just do anything you want to get in trouble.
Did you miss that? So what happens is Logan says the headphones are optional. So then Hulk puts them back on the couch. And then Mongo Mike says, but they're recommended. And then the death stare that Hogan gave his little bitch ass. Watch this.
This is you. Headphones are optional.
Oh, really?
I'll
Yeah.
recommend them. But I won't recommend anything to you, sir. You can just do anything you want to.
Oh my God. Dude, you know what? It's time to bust out the most advanced video technology available to mankind. Watch this.
Headphones are optional.
Oh, really?
I'll
Yeah.
recommend them. But
Zoom in. Pause. Right there. Look at this scorn. Now we're going to play it. Watch the death stare continue to burn through Mongo Mike's homosexual soul.
I won't recommend anything to you, sir. You can just do anything you want to get in trouble if you do.
That's good.
See that? He's already lost all respect for Mongo Mike, like we all have. Man, we were just built different back then, man. We were just built different. That's why you guys see me losing my mind when I'm breaking down videos of Logan Bald and his brother and KSI. These jackasses are the complete opposite of what we were, of what we still are, those of us who haven't died yet of old age. Now, as I said, there's many instances in this video that just show you the generational gap, that just show you how the world has gone to hell. Now, listen here, as Hulk recounts his first day visiting a wrestling gym, okay? And then compare that to how Logan Bald was just gifted a WWE career, okay? Listen to this.
So like a dumbass, I started telling everybody, I'm going to be a wrestler. And I was running my mouth in Tampa. So they took me down to the Sportatorium here over on Albany and Kennedy, about 2 minutes away from here. They got me in the ring, they exercised me to death. And then Hiro Matsuda got and put his elbow on my shin and posted my toe and broke my leg. So that was my first day.
That was his first day. They purposefully snapped his leg in half. Imagine if that happened nowadays. The victim would be all over Twitter, recounting the whole story, posting videos about it on TikTok, getting that gym canceled, run out of business.
You know, and I had real long blonde hair because I was playing in a band. They said, don't ever come back again. So I went home and my dad beat my ass worse than they did down here.
That's what we did back then. If you came home after getting your ass kicked, you got your ass kicked for getting your ass kicked. And that's how you learned to not let somebody kick your ass. Nowadays, when somebody gets their ass kicked, you give them a trophy and puberty blockers.
You're having a bad day.
Yeah.
That's great. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Things were different. Things were
Yeah.
different.
And he said,
Oh, you can say that again, dumbass. Things were different. Now listen to what Hulk Hogan's dad said.
don't ever let anybody hurt you again.
Yeah, facts.
So I got my mind right. And I cut my hair short and I went back and then they couldn't run me off.
You hear that? That's tough love. That's tough love. That's how you create a badass and not a soy boy, broccoli boy, like we see running around on the streets up there above the sewer. Why do you think I spent so much time in the sewer? Aside from the fact that I was evicted. I can't stand it up there anymore with the streetwalkers walking around with their broccoli cuts. Here's another cool story from back then. From back when they didn't play walkout music in the WWF. And I will keep referring to it as the WWF because it was the WWF when he was in his prime. Back when pro wrestling was awesome with Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, the Hulkster. When they changed the name to WWE because they lost a legal battle with a bunch of PETA pussies, that's when it went all downhill. But I digress. Listen to this story.
I got back to New York and I walked in the garden. They were selling any merchandise and no music. So I said something to Vince about playing music. He goes, oh, we don't play music here. So I ran up to the sound guy, gave him $500. I gave him the eye of the tiger. I said, crank this shit.
No way.
I said, crank this.
Gangster.
Yeah, so
Gangster.
they cranked that music, that daunt, and the place just blew.
Yeah.
The place just blew.
Can you imagine the execs if he did that today?
Dude, bro.
How badass is that? Blasting Eye of the Tiger as your walkout music. Have you seen Logan Paul's walkout music? He has Ed Sheeran playing acoustic guitar, talking about how nicely he shaved his pussy that day. The world just disgusts me now. Everywhere you turn, it's these gay-ass influencers with no moral compass, entitled, narcissistic brats. Like this asshole right here, and this is his lizard cum sucking mouth, because that's how he got famous, sucking off the Illuminati, sucking off the Freemasons, sucking off the lizard people, drinking their cum until they said, all right, we'll make you famous. Anyways, this asshole, he just thinks money is everything. He just thinks he can buy anything with money. And listen to this story that encapsulates this point perfectly. Listen to this. But first, let me set this clip up. They're talking about the pew-pew attempt that happened a few weeks back that clipped a certain fellow in the ear. Now, listen to what Logan has to say about this.
Sure. Yeah, I tried to get the hat that he was wearing.
Oh, really?
I'm a collector, so the first question I asked to his team was like, "Yeah, glad he's alive. Where's the hat? Who has the hat?"
Yeah, that's crazy.
To his team was like, "Yeah, glad he's alive. Where's the hat? Who has the hat?"
Yeah, that's crazy.
Give you a million.
But did you catch the first part? Yeah, glad he's alive. That's great. Anyways, where's the hat? Right? Yeah, that's nice. You're alive. I need a collectible to increase in value.
For it right now.
I offered him $2 million for it. They wouldn't.
No shit.
I believe it's the most important artifact in American history.
Yes.
That hat, and I bet it has his blood on it.
Wow.
Well, the car JFK was in.
He offered $2 million because he thinks anything can be bought with money. Just like his bungus was bought by the lizard people. That's one of the things that's really wrong about this generation. It's just money, money, money. Like him and his brother, their early videos on YouTube, just Lambos. Their stupid music videos, dancing around Lambos. Just all about material possessions. He just thinks he can buy anything with money. An iconic piece of history, that hat. Oh, I can buy it because I have money. That can be mine because I have money. And he's not that wrong. I mean, he was denied this time, but if you saw in one of my previous videos, he literally has a massive dinosaur skull in his mansion in Puerto Rico. An actual dinosaur head. Why? Because he has money. He can own a dinosaur artifact just because he has money. And this asshole was going to take that hat and put it next to his Pokemon collection. Because he also has expensive Pokemon memorabilia scattered around his house in display cases. And he was just going to put in a display case next to him.
It's true. It's not as easy to put in a display case.
I guess.
See, there you go. He said JFK's car is more iconic. And he said, yeah, but you can't put it in a display case. He's just going to put Trump's hat in a display case and put it next to his Pokemons. I mean, this world, it's done, dudes. It's done. When a Mongol like Logan Paul here has the money to just throw in, hey, I'll buy that baseball hat for $2 million. We're done. We're done. And he's just doing it to stroke his ego. We're done. Guys, we're done. It's over. Forget about it. I mean, Logan Paul is a product of his time. And in his time, you can make massive money being an idiot. So you end up with more money than sense, more money than class. It wasn't like that in Hogan's time. He made huge amounts of money, but the road to that was much longer and much more painful. You know, apparently in the early days, Vince McMahon Jr. was a total cheapo. Listen to this story. He starts off talking about how Vince McMahon's dad, Vince McMahon Sr., paid him, and then what it was like when Vince McMahon Jr. took over. Listen to this.
You know, so for me, I've always looked at it that way. And when I worked for Vince Sr., he always paid the champion more than the guy he was wrestling. So all of a sudden, when Vince Sr. passed the torch to Vince, and all of a sudden, you know, my first check at the Garden was some crazy check, you know, when I beat the Iron Sheik. The next month, you know, when Vince Jr. was running, my check was nowhere near what my first check was. I said, oh, bro, that doesn't work for me, you know.
Vince McMahon Jr. I actually made a video about him. I made a video about him back when that scandal came out a few months ago on my other channel. And most of you didn't see it because most of you don't know I have another channel. Why don't we check that video out? It's very short. It's 1:40. It's titled, Vince McMahon is the worst wingman ever. Listen to this. Dude, Vince McMahon is the worst wingman ever. Just listen to this.
To give you an example of what we're talking about here and what she was allegedly subjected to, the lawsuit says that on May 9th, 2020, McMahon defecated on Grant's head during a threesome and commanded her to continue the sexual encounter with the third person referred to as McMahon's friend.
Dude, the worst wingman ever. Everybody's talking about the girl in this situation, which she went through. How about the poor wingman? Picture this. You're in the unfortunate situation of being in a threesome with old man Vince McMahon. And he's got to go first because he's the famous rich guy. Not only do you have to see this old naked man going at it, grunting. And you know he's wearing those calf-high black socks with those little garters that hold it up that the old guys wear. You know he's wearing that and nothing else. And you got to sit there and watch him take his turn. And it's bad enough. You got to get Vince McMahon's sloppy seconds. But when he's finally finishing up and you've waited your turn after that assault on your eyeballs, as he's about to pass the girl over to you, he goes, hold on a second, and then drops a deuce on her face. There you go, buddy. She's all yours now. Nobody's talking about the wingman. That's the real victim here. Vince McMahon is such a bad friend. I would honestly rather be friends with Logan Paul. And we've come full circle to Logan Paul. Guys, this is my channel called Sewer King TV. I got some rants about Hollywood. I got movie reactions. I got a 25-minute movie reaction to A Quiet Place 2. In this video here, where I react to the He-Man anime. Dude, I'm cooking a frickin' pineapple burger while I react to this show. And this was my old set back in Canada before I got evicted and lost everything. Anyways, yeah, so hey, go to @SewerKingTV and subscribe to this channel, just because if this channel gets deleted, maybe they'll keep this one up, but usually they just carpet bomb everything that belongs to you. So in that case, make sure you go follow me on Instagram @SewerKingCobra. Okay, so that if YouTube just takes out all my channels, you can come over there and we can, come up with a new plan, if you will. Otherwise, you will lose all contact with the Sewer King. Oh, before I go, I almost forgot. I told you I would break down Hulk Hogan rejecting the Prime, so let's do that. First of all, let's look at all the Prime on this set. Now, I think this might be Hogan's place because we got all these vinyls back here and it looks way classier than anything either of these two idiots can come up with. And also because of the fact that even though there is a lot of Prime, it's a lot less than normal. Normally there's cases and cases like in the back and on the coffee table. And this is Hulk Hogan's new beer brand. So I love that he put this front and center and the Prime is taking a back seat, which is fitting because if you drink Prime, you take it in the back seat. So Hogan is thirsty. In arm's reach, we got so much Prime, which is a rehydrating drink, right, guys? So if you need some hydration, it only makes sense, grab the Prime, except Hogan knows that Prime turns you gay because he's a big fan of the show. He's been following me ever since the 70s when he started copying my drip. Okay, let's watch this clip.
Advice, but like when he says take it a little bit easier.
Vote. You got a cold.
First of all, I love that Mongo Mike is in the middle of a question and he has lost all respect for Logan Paul's cum rag, especially after that stylist question that he just cuts him off because he wants a beer. Listen to that again, that's awesome.
Advice, but like when he says take it a little bit easier.
Vote. You got a cold beer, bro. I need something.
Attaboy.
That'll work.
Attaboy. It's your beer.
Now you're thinking, well, I don't get it. Why is he asking for a beer? There's beer here, here, here. Yeah, these are not cold. These are not cold. He wants a cold brewski, okay? He wants a cold one. So he's asking one of the assistants to go get him a cold one. Now, guys, how many times have we seen this on the Impulsive show? We saw this in the last episode of Impulsive I covered, which was Mike Tyson. He was surrounded with bottles of Prime right next to his head, next to his arm, right in front of him, and he had an assistant bring him a bottle of water. I covered this in an older episode of Impulsive where Mongo Mike's girlfriend was right over there on their set, grabbing lunch, stacks of Prime right in front of her, and she reaches for a bottle of water. Over and over and over again, it keeps happening on their show that the guests, the crew, the girlfriends won't touch Prime. They either pick water or, in this case, get me a cold beer. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Prime is just crashing. The truth is coming out, and you can thank me for it. And you can also thank me by watching another one of my videos. Did you see this one I did about Logan Paul's partner in Prime, KSI? Oh my God. The guy is insufferable. Check this out.